This video begins to specifically look at the civil liberties that are protected within the Bill of Rights. And we're going to start by focusing on the First Amendment and more specifically the part of the First Amendment that deals with religion. So, throughout the course of this year, we've definitely focused on like constitutional clauses. And there are two more within the First Amendment related to religion that you're responsible to know. So, the first part of the First Amendment dealing with religion is called the Establishment Clause. You can see like the wording of the amendment: Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. Basically, what that translates to is that the government can't create their own religion, force people to be in a religion, favor a particular religion, punish a particular religion. That the government really has to be like religiously neutral, and that they can't endorse or create an official religion. There are cases all the time where individuals, American citizens, file lawsuits alleging that like some aspect of the government, right, is endorsing a religion or intentionally favoring a religion or hurting a religion. And then you would file a lawsuit basically alleging that your Establishment Clause rights were being violated. So a great example is one that you're very familiar with, I'm sure, which is the famous Abington v. Schempp case, which involves our own school district. In the 1950s, it was pretty commonplace for public schools like Abington to hold religious exercises or Bible reading. And that's what Abington did. Like during what was their advisory period back in the 1950s, Abington basically had Bible reading during their those periods. One family, the Schempps, right, believed that this was a violation of their constitutional rights, that they shouldn't have like religion forced upon their student while in school, that it was like government endorsing religious views by making students read the Bible. Case went all the way to the United States Supreme Court. And in 1963, the court ruled that the Schempp family's rights were being violated and that Abington couldn't do this Bible reading within their advisory periods, within school at all. And it was removed from Abington. And as a result, was removed from every public high school across the United States as well. So that's a famous local example of like the Establishment Clause case. Um, Another sort of clause in the First Amendment relating to religion is called the Free Exercise Clause. So you see like the wording there too, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. So this is more about Congress not being able to restrict an individual's right to practice the religion, or not just Congress, but like any level of government can't interfere with an individual's right to practice religion. So, for example, the Kennedy versus Bremerton case, which was just decided by the Supreme Court very recently in 2022. This involved Bremerton, which is a town in Washington, and a football coach whose name was Joseph Kennedy. And basically, what Coach Kennedy did at the end of every football game, and Bremerton is a public high school, should mention that, is that Kennedy would basically lead voluntary prayers with his team at the 50-yard line at the end of these high school football games. The school district basically asked him several times not to do that. And when he continued to do it, he was ultimately fired by the school district. Kennedy alleged that the school district was violating his free exercise clause rights, that he should be able to pray at the end of a football game. He wasn't forcing anybody else to do it. And he argued that the school district was interfering with his right to practice the religion as he saw fit. The case went to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court ruled in favor of the coach, saying indeed that the school district basically was violating his free exercise clause rights by preventing him from engaging in these prayer activities after the games. So again, these are the two clauses that you're responsible to know that involve religion and the First Amendment.